Hello.
Hi James, how are you?
I'm okay, MK. How are you?
Good, good. I keep on getting so many questions from my followers. So I just thought that, you're the better person to answer all of that.
Well, I don't know about that. You know your stuff as well. You've passed the exams. You've worked at EY and all the big four. So, it's I think you need to hold yourself in high regard. Come on.
For everyone who does not know me, I am also an ACCA. I've worked with three of the big fours in the past. I have worked with KPMG India, with Deloitte USI and EY Global Services. Since last 1 year, my passion has changed, and I have been counseling students and giving them awareness about the ACCA course. So I have been doing this Instagram page and doing these videos on YouTube. The channel name is ACCA with MK, and you can go there and know about the course, know about the fee structure and the exemptions.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is James. I'm an ACCA qualified accountant from the UK. And MK, thank you so much for actually inviting me today as well. I mean, it's brilliant. We should try and do some more as well. As you can see on here, we've got lots of people who follow me online. So it's a case of, if you just go onto YouTube and you just type in James Wright, ACCA, you can access all of my free videos on there as well. So it's all from my experience of qualifying as an ACCA member. I worked in a small practice, and then I've had some experience going and working in America as an accounts assistant, and then now currently a senior lecturer at a university. And on top of that, do you classify yourself as a YouTuber, MK? I just see myself as someone who posts videos online to help people. So
yeah, I don't classify myself as a YouTuber.
No.
I've been doing it only out of passion, just to help people, because I feel that if I had somebody who was giving me awareness about this course, I would have been very thankful to that person, because it is still not very popular in India. A lot of people still do not know that ACCA is a course. It's a global degree related to accountancy. A lot of people don't even know the pronunciation of ACCA actually. So they're like, what is ACCA? So I say, please go and watch my YouTube video. I'm not going to explain it again. First question that my viewers would want to know from you would be that what is the scope of ACCA according to you? That, what are the kind of job profiles that one can work in, and what are the companies that hire ACCA?
I'll speak on the basis of if you're in your studying and you're currently studying to be an ACCA member, and then if you were to be qualified. So in terms of ACCA, it is the most worldly recognized professional accountancy body around the world. I've traveled to a number of countries, and when you mention ACCA, and this is even to people who aren't accountants, they work with accountants around the world, and ACCA has the highest amount of members around the world. And that's one of the things, that it's so widely recognized that if you want to go work in the USA, London, Europe, wherever it may be, Australia, they have partnerships out there. It is just so widespread and at a variety of levels. So in terms of coming on to your second question as well about what's the sort of areas and scopes and industries, well, that really comes down to your preference, which is one of the main benefits of ACCA, that it's a case of you could go work in the oil and gas sector, the financial services. I used to work in accounts and taxation as well whilst I was doing my studies. So it's a case of pick an industry that you are interested in. It gives you the flexibility no matter where you want to go in the world, where your career or family life takes you. It is well, not to use the usual phrase of the global passport, but it really is. So.
There are so many collaborations with ACCA has with so many countries, like in Canada, in Australia. In some countries, you do not have to give any number or any exams, and you're a member there. Like, you can get a signing authority also of the financial statements. So you can work in the accountancy field, you can work in the auditing field, you can work in taxation in some countries. I feel that you can also work in the banking industry.
Yeah,
banking industry is huge. But not talking specifically about India, if I have to tell you, then a lot of these MNCs, especially big fours, have special departments. They are catering to the UK clients, they are catering to the Australian clients, Canada, US. So they have a specific demand of ACCAs as well. So if I have to tell you about Indian market, then yes, all of these big fours or all of these MNCs, especially based out of UK, require ACCAs. and they prefer actually ACCAs, and you can apply for in the audit department, in statutory audit, in internal audit, in forensic department, forensic audit. A lot of these departments actually you can work in, and all of these companies you can apply for.
The only other thing, if you're looking to go and work abroad, that once you get ACCA qualified in India, the UK, wherever it may be, if you actually go overseas to a region like Australia or New Zealand or wherever it may be, you may actually have to do a couple of extra exams just to get up to scratch with their standards and their actual rates, so that you'd be qualified in their country as well. So just like to be aware of, if anyone listening who has got ambitions to maybe work overseas. You can use the website and all of the resources, and they're all free on there. Plus, they also have things to help you build up your CV and resume, and there are free courses online as well. So wow. Have a look on ACCA X, it's called, where you can get free courses in bookkeeping, management accounting, all for free.
Can we also apply for the practical experience requirement? Can we also take help from the ACCA careers page for the practical experience?
So the practical experience will be actually acquired from the workplace that you actually work in. So the key thing here is anyone who's applying for a role and they're actually studying towards their ACCA, you've got to make sure that the experience that you're acquiring, that you're working in, day out, is actually to the right standard and potentially also a approved ACCA provider on there. Because what you don't want to happen, MK, is that you go and work for a company in a role for 2 years, you apply for your actual experience to be signed off, but it wasn't to the correct standard, or you weren't gaining the right experience. So definitely something I'd be looking at for any employment you were going into.
What are the portals that people can apply for jobs if they want to apply for London?
Being honest with you, the first place I would go to is, as you were saying correctly, get yourself updated on LinkedIn, because any person who reaches out to a company, I can tell you now, the first place they will look is for you on LinkedIn. The second place they will look for you is on social media. So all your Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, this is what their hiring managers will look for on there. LinkedIn is your 24-hour CV that you could be asleep and someone is looking at your profile on there as well. So anyone who's listening to this and who hasn't got a LinkedIn profile, first of all, you need to have one. It's just a must now.
Yes.
And then coming on to your question, secondly on there, you should really apply for the companies directly. So if you want to go work in London at PwC, KPMG, or any of the small firms, you could put in London accounting firms on Google or anything on those sites, contact them directly and apply directly on their website. It shows initiative versus if you actually were to go through a recruiter. You can drop them a personal message on LinkedIn, and you can drop them an email as well. But the main thing, the really, really important thing is that your applications are bespoke and specific to that company. If you just submit a generic application that goes off to 100 companies, they know, their software picks up on it, and it's not actually saying why you particularly want to go and work at PwC on the embankment in the audit and assurance point of view. These are the things that are going to really make your application stand out, I would say.
I definitely agree with you. A lot of us make that mistake. I've made that mistake in the past where I do not fill the application properly. You know, we take it very casually that, okay, fine, they'll go through my resume, but that's not the way through.
If you really want to go and work for that company, then you really want to spend that time to make sure it's perfectly so, because these little things that you change, like using the keywords in the actual job reference, applying all the key things that they are looking for and saying, right, what skills have they said that I need to have? Do I have them? And then you say, well, am I actually showcasing them correctly in my CV and resume?
What is the difference between ACCA and ACA? A lot of people ask me that if I've done ACCA, can I work as a chartered accountant in the UK? Can I sign the audit financial statements? So could you answer that in a better way for people in India, especially because they are the ones who are more confused about the two courses?
That's all right. Well, as someone put it to me a few years ago, well, the first difference, James, is that ACCA has 2 C's and ACA has 1 C. So I was there, oh, okay, thank you for that. I might steal that joke for the future. But first of all, if you become qualified in ACCA or ACA, that is going to really enhance your career, your CV, you're going to get skills because you're a qualified accountant either way on them. The main difference, first of all, that I see is, first of all, that ACCA has more global members than ACA. That's fact on there from the numbers in the actual annual reports. And then from that, it leads into that the ACCA is just more recognised around the world, which is one of the things that I found. It's not a case of one is better than the other. For me, it's a case of, if you get qualified with either one of them, it is going to enhance your career. You're gonna progress. You're going to be pushing to go up into that managerial director status. And over 50% of the chartered accountants in the UK are on the boards of FTSE 100 companies. So they're running organisations. So it's a case of, once you get qualified, it's how you use it. That's the key thing on there, I would say.
Till the partner level, there is no difference between an ACCA and an ACA. It only comes when you have to sign the financial statements. Otherwise, there are people who are doing ACCA and are working with the big fours like PwC London, KPMG London. So all of these organizations do not differentiate between the two. But when it comes to the partner level, or when they require the signing authority, that is when they require to give only 1 or 2 exams based on the exams that you chose out of the options. What is the scope of like regular colleges in UK? Like, what are the colleges where you can do the ACCA program as a regular student, like as a full-time student?
The main sort of ways that students in the UK go about it, the first one is they actually go to university, where they may gain some exemptions from some of the F papers. And again, depending on what modules they do, so they start off studying at the start, they'll graduate, then they'll go on to a graduate scheme at a firm, and then they'll apply for the exemptions, they'll work and study at the same time, complete all the experience, and then they'll get all the experience signed off, complete all the exams, and there you go, you qualify. So that's the first way, studying at the start, then working and studying. The second way is through something called an apprenticeship, actually starting off just working for a company or a firm. So you might be 18 at the time, you go work for a company full-time, Monday to Friday, but you don't actually have any studying time beforehand. So you work and study at the same time from 18. I rarely see a lot of people just doing the exams, just to complete the exams, then getting some experience. In the UK, for anyone who's watching who wants to go and work in the UK, the experience is really, really key, and to stand out. The only exception to that, I'll be honest with you, MK, is when people, just to get the ACCA, CIMA, ACA name on their CV, they'll register as a student, they'll maybe do one exam to show employers that they're really keen to get started, they're self-studying at the moment, and then they'll apply for a job to get on a study contract to say, look, I've already started the process myself, I really want to come and work for you to gain the experience and to complete the exams as we progress through. So they're the main sort of ways, and a bit of an explanation for you from UK, and it happens quite a lot across Europe as well. So
it actually happens in India as well. A lot of students reach out to me that what is the best time to start with ACCA. I actually tell them that even before joining a Big Four, because like as a graduate, a lot of Big Fours, especially the global services, go to these Delhi University, other colleges as well. So if they get an idea that you have already started ACCA, so they know that they are investing in the right resource. So if these organizations know that you've already invested the initial amount, you've already cleared a couple of papers, they will have more faith in you. This is my last question. So what is the difference between an ACCA member and an ACCA affiliate according to you?
So an ACCA affiliate is someone who's passed all the examinations, they've probably done the ethics and professional skills module, but they've not actually had their experience signed off online, which would have to be done through their workplace, usually through a workplace mentor who is also a qualified member. So they're actually in the process of, maybe they've completed all their experience, or they need to actually have those 36 months, the 3 years, all signed off in a qualifying working environment. And it could also be ACCA approved as well. But as long as it's a qualifying role, that is the key thing. You can't just be sort of filing paper and doing administration. You've got to be directly involved with stuff that you'd be actually doing in your studying. Versus, on the other hand, being a qualified ACCA member is having the 3 things ticked off. you've got your 3 years signed off by the actual company you work at. So maybe you might have some experience from a couple of other firms, but it's all signed off. You've completed all the wonderful 13 exams, which you've, you know, had sleepless nights and weekends of studying on. And then finally, the actual ethics and professional skills module, which again is all done online through your ACCA. But you should have already done that when you'd finished all of the F papers before you actually move on to the strategic papers, because the stats tell us
if you also.
Oh yeah, if you do it, the earlier you do it, the better you do in your exams.
Thank you for being with me, helping
It's
both
a
of
pleasure.
our followers understand this course and understand these basic questions, because you know these are repetitive questions. So I actually felt that you know we should answer it on a live session, and then we can catch up again maybe very soon. I will book your calendar. I will ask you to block your calendar for me again, and I will have another set of questions for you.
Yeah, of course. No, and thank you so much, MK, and for everyone who's tuned in today, and for everyone who's maybe watching the recording of this. As ever, MK and I will be doing more and more videos. So if you check out the links in our bios, it will take you straight onto YouTube, and all of my free stuff is on there for you. So yeah, make the most of it. If you've got any queries, just comment on one of the videos on YouTube, and I respond to them. So yes, it's all good. But no, thank you so much, and more than happy to do some more in the future.